Hi, everyone. This is Bonnie Burd, and I'm here with Global Expression of All Light Language. And we're here to have a conversation about quantum healing here with Rachelle Gehman. And we want to talk about her experience when she's worked with me and she's worked with other people within the Ignite quantum healing is my business, but she's had other experiences with other people who work in the consciousness. So she wants to put together what it is she learned on her journey and the path that she's gone through her healing. And so we're just going to have a conversation because we thought maybe it would help others understand what we're doing when we work in the quantum healing and with the consciousness in the Akashic records. So I'm going to just let Rachelle just introduce herself and tell everyone a little bit about herself.
Hi, thanks, Bonnie. Thanks for that introduction. So, yeah, we've been working a lot together, right? And
Yeah.
uh, the reason I thought it might be a good idea for us to come on, I'm actually a psychic medium and author of the Heartfelt Medium, and so forth. And we do a lot together, mediumship classes and so forth, a lot about healing. I've learned so much with regard to like the flow of energy and understanding our own energy. And I've incorporated that in my class so people can really understand it. But this to me is really important because it's about healing. And we've certainly through the Lions Gate have a lot of things have been served up. And so what I talked to my class about was everything kind of got served up at once, right? Where we were kind of everything that maybe we hadn't dealt with, memories and so forth, and hurt and painful situations that maybe we hadn't even addressed or looked at in a very long time. And for me, I thought that I went on my class and told them, look, I kind of got stuck in this circumstantial loop, which I asked a mentor of mine that they said that it was potentially a past life thing with this person. And so with that, I explained that to my class and went through all the healing, went through, dissolving the cords, grounding, spending time in meditation, letting go of the pain through the pain body and all of that. But there was also something that was missing. And one of the things that we talked about was potentially doing a past life regression because of the fact that my mentor said, hey, might be a past life thing. Of course, we're also looking at time as well, right? And is time lineal? But also, what impact does that have potentially on like memory or something that is stuck in our DNA or in our etheric body that we could actually clear out? And so I thought it might make sense because of what happened, where there was such a clearing that I wanted to share it with people. And Bonnie, you do things that are a little bit different and unique, and what your value and what you bring to the table is different. A lot of times, an Akashic read might be someone telling you what you were in a past life, but this was actually a situation where we trust and go in and we get to the timeline which needs to be healed, right? And we
Yeah.
spend time there. We see what is actually happening. We have the story around it. Now, I'm not suggesting that you need stories around it. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But I knew that the story I needed because I wasn't able to clear it out, as well as there was something with someone that I had to clear, right? And so with that, we got together and I said, let's do it. And so and then I thought we could talk about the experience, how yours is different, as well as what do I want to say? The healing that I experienced as a result. And
It,
and
it,
and
it might help a little bit for me to explain how I work with it. So for me, I don't do a read and tell you, what it is that you do that did in other lifetimes. I leave it up to your guides and my guides to take you to the seed of the first energy when it entered into your records. So whatever it is that you're trying to deal with, we'll go to the point where it entered your records. And then we see what happened around it. We see the whole story around what happened and the people that needs to be forgiven, the aspect that you were then. And then we do forgiveness, we release, we do soul retrieval, we clear it so that it'll raise to a higher timeline. And then when it
Yes.
raises to that higher timeline, it's like the roots of a tree. It goes out through every lifetime that it touched, and it dissolves it into the light. So every aspect, you're helping every aspect that has had that problem, because there's no such thing as past, present, and future. We're in the now time. So you're helping every aspect heal as you do that healing. So it's a huge healing, and it helps you and countless aspects. And then you in this lifetime will raise to a higher timeline to where you can never have to work with that energy ever again, because you've done the complete healing and release of it. And so that's how I do it. I know there's other people who just tell you who you are, where you were in lifetimes, and what gifts you had and stuff like that. But mine goes deeper into the Akashic records and actually takes you to the place and time when it happens. And so that's what Rachelle and I did when we did her sessions from the beginning.
Yeah. And, Bonnie, the thing is that the one thing that I never understood until I met you was, what doesn't matter about our past lives? And why would I want to take that responsibility of ownership of something that I can't even remember? And so I had this view, and then, but what this is a non-cognitive tool that can help people. And so the goal for me was that I was caught in this circumstantial loop that kept coming up. And it was like, there were several things that occurred. And I felt like I was in a time warp like 30 years ago, where I was dealing with feelings. It didn't matter the circumstances, but I was focused on the circumstances. It was actually the feelings around that. And it happened during the Lionsgate, which everybody said it was serving it up so we could heal it.
Very
And then
intense.
I tried releasing, and it was still there. And so what I love about what you do is that when you go in, or when we go in together, and I spent a lot of time in meditation because I really wanted to get this right. And so when we went in, you're right there with me. So you're seeing everything that I'm seeing. And that is a gift. That's how your gifts work. So you knew what I looked like. You knew the age. You were seeing everything, but you weren't telling me. You said, what are you seeing? Are you male and female? What age are you? And so we went through it, and you were seeing it. And the thing is, that's really beautiful is that when we started, you had pulled some cards, right?
Mhm.
And it was amazing because the cards were very abstract or high level. It didn't really say anything. It just had like certain prompts of what was going, what we were it was kind of like a guide. But the funny thing was, is that when we went in, I didn't even like think of that. I didn't even see how that even related. It was very, very unbelievable as far as how spirit works with you. And I don't know if we should tell the variables. I mean,
Well, like
but
when I pull the cards, these are cards that are for Akashic records, and so when I pull those cards, all it does is suggest the energy that might be present. So this one is greed, corruption, independence, and so I just read the energy of it, and we really
right,
don't know what it means before we go in.
we don't.
And I'll pull six of them.
Right.
They'll give us six energies of whatever it could be. And then when we go in and do the healing and see what everything is and understand everybody who is involved and release all that, we come back and the cards really make sense, and it kind of blows our mind because spirit
Yeah.
is so amazing, and it just makes more sense. And then
Right.
after we do that, to finish up, then I usually will pull the angel cards. These were gifted to me by Rachelle, and
Yeah.
these kind of just help you move forward. They're
Yeah.
suggestions of things to help you move forward, and we also channel whatever it is your guides want you to know. But it just gives you that information of understanding. Once you understand it, it's easy to let it go. You know, when you
Exactly.
see all
And,
sides of the story.
right, exactly. And Bonnie, what was so healing to me in this, and we can talk about it. I mean, I'm okay with talking about it. But what was so healing to me was when we were down in the circumstances of that lifetime, and then you said, okay, we're going to go up, and we actually um, we dissolved all the cords from all directions in time, but we rewrote that timeline. And to me, that was so healing. That was so healing. And when we rewrote that timeline,
Because
because
once you dissolve, well, because once you dissolve that energy, it's a blank slate, and so now you what would have happened had you not fallen into that energy or whatever it is you've done, and so
right,
it completely rewrites it in a positive in God's love and light, and it just brings it into a whole different perspective. You know,
it did. And the
definitely.
healing that occurred, because you even gave me time to speak to the person, in which we had this wonderful dialogue that was so special, and that the acceptance, instead of the rejection or the whatever that was occurring in that lifetime, the abandonment, the rejection, really got healed. And
Mhm.
um, and that was the important thing, because what I noticed was the rejection, the abandonment, those type of things that were existing were also remnants in my life right now that were root causes to a lot of things about how my movie and how my life is playing out. So if we remove those things and we're able to do a higher timeline where there is acceptance and love and kindness and rejoicing and coming together, uh, then all of a sudden that root cause then is removed from my lifetime, and then I'm not operating with that trauma playing in my head. It gets removed, and now I can move forward, and I'm looking at my world today differently than what I did prior to that. Not feeling good enough, those type of things that were playing. So I thought it might be very helpful for people to understand what you do and what my experience was going through this. And I was at the point where, like I said, I was stuck in this circumstantial loop. A mentor of mine suggested that I look at it from a past life perspective and what could be done. And um, in this case, I did need to understand the story. A lot of times we do not need that. But in this case, I found it very helpful because it was also circumstances that it was occurring with that same person in my life today. So, uh, I just thought maybe this would be a good thing. And so, thank you, Bonnie, for all the healing that occurred as a result of this. But I hope people get something out of this, because it's also about rewriting that timeline and that aspect for yourself, so you can be free and you can walk a different path for yourself.
Well, it's
And
almost not. It's almost like not rewriting it, because what happens is when you dissolve all contracts in all directions in time, because we are in ascension, and we can now dissolve all karmic and ties and everything in all directions in time. Once we do that, it just rises to the higher timeline and you just know what it is. It's not even
Yeah.
rewriting it. It just tells you,
Yeah.
it tells its own story of what it is,
Right.
And so you kind of know instead of that person suffering, he lived a wonderful life and it was just a beautiful experience. And it's just the most beautiful thing ever because you come back to this lifetime once you've dissolved it all and everything looks different because you've risen your timeline here and
Right.
you've cleared out the filters that was attached to that, and so you now look at that person differently because it's that sad energy between you. That trauma is now gone, and
Yeah.
so you get a chance to rebuild a different relationship with that person
Yeah.
in love.
Exactly. Exactly. And it might take time too, where the healing does need to take, you have to integrate, right? Sometimes, and it takes time to maybe catch up to that other person or whatever. But the bottom line is that it's such a wonderful experience, and I really encourage that. That's what makes us like quantum, the quantum level of
Yeah.
healing that is so special. So thank you
Well,
for
one
that,
thing
Bonnie.
I want to say, yeah,
Yeah.
you're so welcome. The one thing I want to say about the other person, once you've done your healing and you've released them from contracts and you've released them from your heart, then it kind of trickles back to that person, then they begin their healing. And it depends on how far they are in their path, how long it takes them to come around. But you just hold loving space and you just keep sending that person love. And eventually they will understand what it is you understand. It just takes them a minute. And you don't really feel so irritated towards them anymore because you already know why that they're behaving the way they behave, and it's okay. And so,
Right.
and then there's another timeline where it's just not for this lifetime. They're just never going to let that go. And if they don't, there's nothing you could do about it, but it doesn't, your healing still occurs.
Right.
You're
And
no,
you've done your part, right? And it's really
yeah,
between them and God whether they go through that or not, and or maybe they're holding it for reasons that we don't understand, and that's an okay thing.
yeah. And you
Yeah.
just have to love them from where they are because, everybody has a different understanding and they have a different consciousness. And especially the people that's going to ask for Akashic Records read, they're ones that have the knowledge and the understanding that they can be helped that way. And the people that they're healing with might not necessarily be at that wisdom level. And so it might take them a little longer to awaken to where they understand that they can have help too. But what happens is when you do this kind of a healing, your guides, your angels continue to work with you and they continue to help you peel away things that are in your way. So in your sleep time, you might wake up after having an Akashic read and you'll be doing another Akashic read because that's how it works with me. Because if you've done a healing with me, what I've learned is that they will continue to work with you and help you to continue to release as long as you give them permission to. And you'll wake up and you'll be working on another timeline because they taught you how to do it. They taught you how to go through the dimensions when I took you through the sessions. So you're able to do it. Your consciousness is able to continue to work with your guides and angels. And then usually people won't come back for another healing until they feel like they need help, till they feel like they're stuck. And only their heart knows that. So that's the reason why I never tell people when they need another healing. I just say, you'll know when. You'll just I'll pop up in your mind and you'll just want another one, or whoever it is that you have the records reads with or those sessions with, you'll just decide you need help and you'll go and make a
Right.
appointment. That's kind of usually how it works.
Yeah. Yeah, and the Akashic read for me, Bonnie, I've done several, and all of them have been really profound. Um, Now I have gone and where people have told me what I am, And, that's fine for some people if they just have a curiosity and that's what they want to know. But for me, there's a deeper meaning and a healing that can possibly occur that, and a release. Uh, and that's why I have done these. And I know that uh, my before I started doing these healings with you, um, I felt very anxious, I want to say. My energy was full of anxiety. I didn't have a calmness about me. And I certainly did not know how to manage my energy effectively. This was a while ago. And
Mhm. It's a long,
uh,
long time ago.
yeah, and so when I learned that I was absorbing other people's energy and didn't even realize it, and that all of a sudden I was feeling anxious or insecure, and then all of a sudden, I didn't realize I was taking that on from another person. And so releasing it and sending it away with healing and then calling back my energy was really an important um, moment in my life, knowing that I could do that. And so then things became a little bit more settled for me, and being able to realize how life works for us instead of being victimized and allowing things happen to us, and how we this is a wonderful universe that really wants us to that is supporting us to have a wonderful experience in doing this dance of life, right? And
Right.
so once we understand that and we understand the energy, and that we can actually direct it, um, and then we find these things that need healed. It's really a beautiful thing. So I'm very grateful for that, and I thought we should talk about that a little bit.
Well, I think everybody needs a foundation, and so when you start to learn about how the energy flows and how your personal energy is in your space, and you learn how to clear it and cleanse it, and you learn how to keep, like energetic housekeeping, just simple tools that you learn, and 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 you learn all about how your energy flows and how you interact with other people and how you're all connected. And
Mhm.
you start to uh, realize that it's very important for you to keep your energy grounded and connected to the Mother Gaia, and to the Mother Father, God Goddess. And, you're a conduit for the light. And so the more grounded you are, they always use with me like the roots of a tree, because it is like a tree, because you're grounded into the earth, and you're grounded, your branches reach out to the heavens, and you're grounded that way. And so it's the same above as it is below. It's God's energy all around you. And so learning about how that works, and how your energy connects to nature, and how your energy connects to other people, and how your consciousness expands, and you can help others expand their consciousness with the keys and codes that you encounter and the things that you learn. Just walking past somebody, whatever's in your auric field, you can um, interact an awakening for someone, because just because you have it within your system. And so once you learn about all that, and then a lot of people will learn that, and then they'll decide if they want to do energy work, and they might want to learn Reiki, or some other tool, hypnotherapy, or coaching, or some other tool to do with working with energy. The more you add modalities to your gifts that you already are born with, and the more you clear out your systems and you can hold more light, the more gifted you become, because you're becoming the quantum person you were meant to be. And so
Exactly.
you're the crystalline Christ crystals being. That's who you're supposed to be. And that's what
Right.
Christ came here for, to tell us that. Well, Yahshua, he came here
Yeah.
to explain to us that's who we are, and what we're, remind us who we are and what we're supposed to be. That was the whole reason for him being here. and he's still here to this day helping us. And he's the biggest, one of my biggest guides, and he helps me with the through the Akashic reads and helps everyone heal and forgive and just guides the whole session. No session is the same. They're all different because every person has a different way of doing things. Their gifts work in a different way, and their guides will work with my guides, and then we just it ends up being something different every single time. And
Yeah.
so it's just really special. It's, for me it's even more special because I get to be there and experience all these miracles, and it just blesses my heart so much. I mean, this is why I do this work, because I just love being able to watch the blessings occur with their guides and their angels. And uh, Yahshua is the most beautiful, loving guide ever, ever. I mean, it just I just am so blessed that he works with me so closely. That he works with each and every person just as close. You just have to realize he's there because he's
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
yeah.
So, Bonnie, what is it that we can maybe help people with? I wonder if there's something simple that might help people, um, just to do maybe some house cleaning or something like that. Like one of the things we talked about was if we have absorbed energy and all of a sudden we're feeling anxious or insecure, the breath is really important. And then what do we do to release the energy and send it for healing and call back our energy? Maybe something like that would help people that they could do in the moment. Or if things are like really heightened or escalated with someone, and we always, intuitively we match somebody's energy. I mean, it's our humanness that matches that energy, right? And so when things get escalated or people go into fear, we tend to go right with them. And so, what I found is that if I take a deep breath and just blow it out, and I really consciously think about love, something that I really love, that and I bring it into my heart, and I exhale and I make sure that love is in my heart, and I just release it so I don't go there with the fear consciousness, or I don't go there when a person is escalating or whatever, and I just realize it's their stuff, not mine. But if I happen to absorb it, maybe you can talk about what do we do to release it, you know?
Yeah, if you get upset, somebody triggers you. Going outside and getting your feet on the ground, it grounds you and helps you release that energy. Even taking a shower with the intention, the intention of releasing everything, that helps. And then also, there's you can take a salt bath, with Epsom salt, and you can go in meditation and ask what is the meaning behind it. The biggest thing is to ask the question when you're triggered, why did that trigger me like that? Because it's something within you that's being triggered.
Right.
It's not the other person. It's the other person might be connected to your records in some way, but it is something within you that's gotten you so upset. And so you ask yourself, why did that trigger me? What is it? And if you can't figure out something from this lifetime, then most likely it's something from another lifetime.
Mhm.
It goes even deeper. And so, a breathing exercise is going outside and just breathing in nature, going for a walk. That's another thing that will ground you. Going for a swim, putting your feet
Mhm.
in the ocean. If you live by the ocean, which Rochelle's lucky for that. Um, or even I have a river by my house. Just walking by the river clears my mind.
Yeah.
And just drop your thoughts, stop your thoughts from running rampant, because if you let them run rampant, they're just going to make the energy even bigger and you're creating this big angry storm. And so if you just stop, disconnect from their energy, and then step back and think about it, and go for a walk, think about what it is that triggered you, or go meditate, all those different things we said before, and then respond, because it's all in the way you respond, whether it's going to be a big old storm or whether it's just going to be a little rain and it's all over with. And
Yeah.
so think about how you respond to people, because
Mhm.
don't see them as this, a horrible, hateful person that's being mean to you, see them as a child of God, and there's something that they need to learn, and there's something they don't understand, or your little child is upset, and you need to learn what it is that's upsetting your little child with whatever it is they're doing. So I
Yeah.
mean, dropping it into your heart instead of thinking about it in your mind, drop it into your heart and ask your guides and angels to help you think about it. What could I do next? When I speak to this person next, can I please speak to them with the heart, in the heart instead of in the mind?
Yeah.
Please help me to refrain from being triggered in any way, like that. But don't talk to them until you're ready, you
Mhm.
know.
Well, and then
No.
the other thing too, like I was thinking about at work, when this person came up behind me in the conference room, right? And they put their hands on my shoulder and they started to whisper something into my ear, and I didn't hear a word they said. All I could do was immediately feel all the energy, and the signals that I was getting was, I'm really insecure. I feel like I'm going to lose my job, all of this stuff. And then all of a sudden I took that on and I didn't know if that was me. I thought it was me. Why all of a sudden did I feel that? I actually sensed it from the other person and I thought, was that the message that they were giving me? And then I started feeling that way. And so what I had to do, I had to get up and excuse myself and I went outside and I took a few deep breaths and I released that energy. I imagined, a hole in Mother Earth with pink light. And I just took all the energy and I blew it into that hole and just said, I sent it away with healing. And then I kept breathing and calling back my energy. And then within like less than a minute, I was feeling so much better. But
Yeah.
it caught me off guard. And that's what can happen. People can catch us off guard in a office environment or whatever. And even if we went into the bathroom or whatever, and we took a moment to be private and start to do that breathing and the
Ooh.
releasing of that energy is really important, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, and visualization really helps, like what Rachelle was saying. Imagine that there's a little portal and all that energy is going down into the earth to be healed. And your energy is called back, healed, and cleansed, and so is theirs being sent back to them. And then what it is you understand when you go back in there that you need to send her energy. You need to send her love because she's a nervous, that person is nervous and upset and needs to calm their nervous system. And
Right.
so by, taking a step, like you going outside, taking a step away from the situation, then you can now analyze what happened and figure out what to do next. Because it's the way you react. Because if you had just reacted towards her, then that would have been a mess. That would have been good in the workplace. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just it's just learning how to deal with that stuff, and we are all doing that because
Right.
the energies are heightened because of the ascension, and so it's like a tube of toothpaste being squashed out because everything that don't go with the light has to be released, and so we sometimes feel like we're being reborn or rebirth or being squashed to a, like Rochelle likes to say, a square peg through a round circle. you know
That's for sure.
so you're just so uncomfortable, but try not to spew it on other people when you're uncomfortable, because if you're uncomfortable it has something to do with you and what's going on with you. So just separate yourself and think about it, and go into immediately go into healing, because
Right.
we might be here to help others heal, but we're number one here to help heal thyself. That's what Yeshua says. We're
Yeah,
here to understand our energy, become a master of energy, heal thyself, and then help the masses.
exactly.
So we
Well,
come first, always in
yeah,
healing.
and as we've worked on our healing, because we've been through this, right, Bonnie, and we've been called to do all this healing. We've been probably doing it for a couple years now. And you think about that, and then other people are maybe just starting on their journey, or the energies are so high that you can see the irritation. So they start reflecting a lot of stuff, right? And so we really, as they're going through their healing, we have to show some type of, I guess, tolerance for where they're at,
Patience.
but it can also trigger us if there's something that's not healed there. So we really
If
have
there's a
to,
remnant. Yeah.
yeah, and that's part of the ascension process that we're going through today with all the heightened sensitivity and the heightened energies that are occurring energetically as the earth is ascending, and we're like fleas on the dog when it comes to the earth. We're all going, so because
Yeah.
we live here on this
Well,
earth, right?
well,
So
one
yeah,
thing that I can explain about, because I've been doing this for more than 20 years, and my journey started almost about 20 years ago, but I can tell you that shadow work or cleansing, they want to call it purification, the guys,
right,
my guys do purification work, was nowhere near like it is now. It was something, it would take you years to release something. The energy wasn't high enough to help you resolve it. It would take you 6 months to a year to get rid of some one little thing. And now they're poking at everything, and it's immediately coming to the surface, and then you have to deal with it because it's in your face. And you're like, oh my God, oh God. And then you got to go through that whole healing and quickly. So it's like fast forward. It's like,
right,
whoa, 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 whoa. And then you get done with one, and then all of a sudden, here comes another one. Oh, no, 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 no. It's a roller coaster ride.
yeah,
And
right,
so, I mean, I feel bad for the ones that are new awakening, because it's not like it was. I mean, it did happen to people in the past that was meant to do fast awakening. I'd seen that. I'd seen quickened awakening where people were meant to be awakened really fast, and it was really tough. I mean, they went through a real struggle. And then there's the soft awakening. I mean, I really had a soft one because it was 20 years ago. And it was really, just opening up and looking at things. And now it's like there's 20 things you're looking at once. You're
mm,
resolving it all at once. When you hit the time they're showing it, my guides taught me how to go to the seed and dissolve everything, every aspect it's connected to. But what you have to realize is that after you've dissolved it, you still have a time of healing. You still have a time of contemplation, and you're not the only one doing it. Every aspect that had it hit their timeline, that is you, is doing the same thing you're doing. They're
yeah,
going through healing. So sometimes you feel better one day, and then another day you'll feel like, oh gee, what is this? If you don't understand the story, it's more than likely attached to the healing that you just did. So just breathe
right,
and release and let it go. And
yeah.
so
That's
you'll
so true,
continue to
honey.
feel that way.
Yeah, it's just amazing, right? I mean, I think about my awakening, and I'll never forget the words that I said. I don't know if I have any shadow work to do. Boy, was I wrong. I mean, and we can also get into our ego, right? There's a lot of people that are operating from ego. And spirit will use anyone, by the way. It doesn't matter if they're operating from ego or not. But we hope that every spirit or healer that work with spirit, any person that does work with spirit, that they do operate from the essence of who they are, and that they blend with that and utilize that energy in a positive and wonderful way to help move humanity forward. So, yeah, yeah, this has been good, Bonnie.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, that's this is all about. Is we're learning as we go. I mean, it's
right.
the way of healing, and the frequencies and everything is raising, and so we have to raise our frequency to the next highest level. And as we're doing that, it's like a radio dial. We're
Hmm.
learning, and we're picking up new gifts, and they're teaching
Hmm.
us things as we go. So it's kind of like being in an accelerated class. We're just like, whoa, this is happening, this is happening. And all we have to do is just allow, and
Hmm.
allow it to flow, allow it to happen, and just
Yeah,
be in patience with other people who are having such a hard time because they just are new awakening.
right,
So you
right.
can't force them to know what you know. That's another hard thing. Yasha
Yeah.
always tells me you can't force them wisdom. They have to question and want to know what it is in order for you
Yeah,
to tell them.
exactly. And then
Yeah.
there are other people that do it differently too, like, David Maria in his class, and doing some of the DNA work and the going back 32 generations and pulling that out, and so forth. And I know, Bonnie, you have meditations like that that are just amazing as well out on YouTube. You have a full library of those out there that are really great for
Mhm.
people um, to go in and do those clearings anytime that they need to. And I know that I have found that beneficial um, for some of the recent ones, especially where I was feeling so desperate, and like, what do I do? And if people could even go to Ignite Quantum Healing on YouTube and see all the meditations out there and see which one resonates with you, or which one you're drawn to. I know that one. Which one was it on the what was that one where, what did you
Oh,
call
it
that?
was a nervous. It was the nervous system one. When
Yeah,
we get our system gets so nervous, we fight or flight. It's how to
yeah,
calm that fight or flight, and to
right.
just allow yourself to relax and let go of
Well,
it.
and that's the other
Um,
thing too, fight or flight, from a human perspective was because, a tiger was coming to attack us or a snake was going to bite us or something like that, and we were really worried about our life. And now we have a different fight or flight where we could really all of a sudden have fear invoked by credit card debt or whatever, and so we've misplaced our fear. And so maybe thinking about that and letting some of that fear go, and not operate from a disposition of fear. But
well, another thing that kind of
yeah.
happens what is that you create stories in your mind, and so
Mhm.
it's like it's a trigger. So something will happen to you similar to that story, and then you'll go right into that depression, whatever emotion that's attached to it. You'll go
Right.
right into that, and you'll start feeling that way and everything. And so what
Mhm.
that meditation does is it takes it
All that
helps you
out.
connect it and disconnect and release it, and to balance the nervous system and help you
Yeah.
get back into who you truly are, and not the stories that are in your head, because those aren't who you are. Who you
Right.
are is in your heart, and
Right.
that's what
Exactly.
that's what we're trying to get back to is um, that's what all of our guides are doing, and what we're trying to do is help people walk back home to their heart, because that's where they live, and that's where
Right.
we all belong. you
Yeah,
know
that's so important, Bunny. We're just walking each other home to who we are. And that's what it's about. It's about showing up as you. And what does that look
exactly.
like? Instead of, we can go from victim to I'm responsible for everything, to where spirit works through us. And now we come to this place where it's and it's through and then as us. So as our heart, truly the essence of who we are, and allowing that to come through. And if we can just remove all this stuff that has been blocking us from our highest and best, and we start to trust spirit and we offload this stuff, then we can come through. We're no longer victimized. We realize that life happens for us. We trust the universe, and that it's a very giving and loving universe, and that we trust that everything's going to work out based on certain things that we've put out there for ourselves, and want to bring it, and then the universe serves it up in a wonderful way. So that's what this is all about, really. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're all learning as we go. Nobody knows everything. We just kind of like channel our guides, and they kind of guide us to help others heal, and we have to just trust them and they trust us, and we just have to build our relationship that way. And
Yeah.
because it's such a new atmosphere, we're not in the same consciousness that we were a year ago.
Mhm.
We've raised so high that we have to find our way, because it's wisdom that we have to uncover, that it's already waiting there for us, but we have to release all of this trauma and upset, so that we can raise that level of vibration and be able to connect to the wisdom of the unity consciousness. And that's what we all belong to. The
Mhm.
unity consciousness is God's consciousness. Of it's the heart of God. And so that's where
Right.
we belong. And that's what we're all working towards. And we're all doing that together. And it's such a
Yeah,
beautiful
and
experience.
and the angels and spirit and all the guides and ascended masters, they love us so much because really Earth is like a school where we learn things. And it's hard to navigate because of the dichotomy and the polarization. And our minds can get polarized. And so the key is really staying in that love vibration and bringing that forth. But they have so much respect for us and they want to help us. And if we can just put out not only the love, but also the gratitude, we put out the vibration of gratitude, and know and trust in the abundance that exists on this in this world, in the land of free will, where everybody has free will, and we have to navigate that. And we just have this wonderful opportunity for all these things to come and help and serve. So when we can remove and spend time in healing, and call back our wholeness, that's when we're at a point where we can also serve humanity. And I think that that's the key. That's the key for me. I want to show up with my whole self to serve humanity. So,
It's
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Exactly. That's what we're all doing. And we're all working together to create this beautiful world. And it's just so amazing.
Mhm.
Before we wrap up, we probably got about 10 or 15 minutes. Because I love this meditation that you do where you take them into the heart and you have them see what it is that people love, to find the love, to experience
Oh,
the love and send
yeah,
it to that energy of whatever it is they're trying to create.
yeah.
Because it's the emotion, it's the love that creates. And so when you
Mhm.
learn how to use that muscle is when you'll be able to create your environment around you. Because we all have to know that we are creator gods, that's what we were born to do, and we're born to create a beautiful world around us. And so I'm gonna let Rachelle do this beautiful meditation, and then after you're done with your meditation, I'll close with some light language that will help others heal and move forward. And
All
I'll
right,
just
that sounds good. And just to
I'll,
preface this, Bonnie, it's about going into the heart. And, a lot of people don't connect with God or God's source. That's okay. It really is okay. The reason that we do this is to really connect to the love vibration and the energy of that. So just know that. So if everybody wants to take a moment and just have their feet on the floor and their palms up in on their resting on their lap, and then if we just start to breathe and exhale, inhale up and exhale down. And now imagine roots from your feet going into Mother Earth. And there's a beautiful crystal core that's at the bottom. And we just take a breath and we send a white beam of light down to the crystal core. And we bring the other beam of light back up to our feet. And we imagine white light going up through our body and really becoming the essence of that wonderful white light. Kind of notice any tightness or tension in your body and just release it. Release it through the breath. As you exhale, inhale up. And just for the matter of time, we're just going to go all the way up and we're going to imagine our white light all the way through our body. And we're going up through the crown of our head, relaxing our entire body. And as we go up, this is just symbolic of the higher realms or the higher vibration that exists all around us. And we want to connect and lift our vibration up to that higher vibration. So we're imagining this white light coming down, and then we're going to bring it into the heart and drop it into your heart. So your intention is in the heart. We're not in the mind right now, we're in the heart. And we start to really think about something that we love. If it's our God source or our angels or even a cat or a dog or a baby, a grandchild, whatever is going to bring that pureness into your heart, really feel that. Start to really feel that and allow that to build in your heart. Now just send that wonderful loving energy out into the room and expand it outward. And then feel the universe coming back and responding to that love vibration and giving gratitude. And so you're communing with that love vibration that's all around us, and we're sending it out in a wave, and we're receiving it back to us. And when we're in this love vibration, this is where we can set our intentions about the type of life we want, to be really specific about what we want to bring into our lives: the love, the kindness, the caring, the healing, whatever it is. And then we start to give thanks for this wonderful experience of love in our heart. We start to give thanks for the universe responding to our requests, knowing that everything is going to be taken care of. And we just sit there and commune with this wonderful love vibration and giving gratitude that everything is taken care of. And we know that we're bringing forth our highest and best in this moment for everything to be fully aligned to who we are. And we just give thanks for all the wonderful blessings that we receive, both seen and unseen. We are so grateful. We know that guidance, upliftment, reassurance is forthcoming, and it's here now as we connect with it. And we give thanks and gratitude for that. And when you're ready, you can wiggle your fingers and toes and open your eyes.
That was beautiful. So I'm just going to continue on. Go ahead, Rachelle, say whatever.
I was just going to say that's a very quick version.
Yeah. But I mean, really powerful, because I could feel the energy raise really high. So what I'm going to continue on from her meditation, and I'm going to go have you guys close your eyes. And I'm going to ask you to just take a deep breath. Feel that connection to the earth, to the mother. Take another deep breath. Feel that connection to the mother, father, son, God, goddess. And then I want you to feel yourself lift into that beautiful heart of God. Lift your soul into that light. Feel that beautiful connection. And now I'm going to ask my guides and anybody who listens to this, that this be surrounded with love and light, and only go where love and light is. And we ask that we have keys and codes that can help whoever listens to this from this time forward. We invite all the archangels of light, all the masters of light to hold space for us. Take a deep breath. Utro shotopakare shotapiketre ishti imiatra ishti imia ata atara shti mietra ishti mietra atra itri imiatra ikechiti ema arakatara ishti imiatra ishti miatra ututu mietri itri yatra ikea miatra ishti emanta orupikete miatra ishti imiata ikishiti emi utu umu utu ite ishti miatra Itera uturu ustu umeatra ist emiatra iti emiatra uturu miata. May the love of God fill your heart, and show you the light of the heart. The father's heart, the mother's heart, is the same as yours. We are one. Ikira biatra, ikieshita miatra, yetra, itre miotro yatra. Healing is here for you. All you have to do is ask. Allow yourself to become the love. For this is who you truly are. Take a deep breath. Feel every system, every cell, all the way down to the ends of your toes, filling up with this beautiful energy of love. Feeling yourself come back down into your body. Take a deep breath. Ground yourself into the earth, sending your antenna all the way up to Mother, Father, God's heart. And when you're ready, wiggles your fingers and toes and open your eyes.
Oh,
So I
thank you,
hope
Bonnie.
everybody's feeling good. You're so welcome. That was, oh my gosh. I felt like I was going to
I hope,
levitate out of my chair.
yeah, I hope everybody felt that,
Everybody
and
received that.
our
Yeah.
gift to them for healing and feeling the love of spirit and all around them.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. That's the beauty of it. Just knowing that the healing is there for you. You just have to accept it. They're
Exactly.
always there. So, Rachelle, where can we find you at if you wanted to learn more about mediumship and more about all the classes that you teach? Let them know more about
so it's at RachelleGehman.com is my website. There's a contact form there, but my email is Rachelle@RachelleGehman.com. And also there's a thing out there. One of the tabs is classes and events. And I have a mediumship class out there. I'm going to be developing more classes, like a class on the law of abundance and relationship with money, because it is a spiritual thing. And then other classes as well to help people. So I look forward to being there for people. And we got, Bonnie, thank you for this wonderful hour with you. It's great.
welcome.
Okay.
You're so welcome. You can also find
and
me.
quantum healing, right? Talk about that.
You can also find me at Ignite Quantum Healing Wellness Practitioner Bonnie Burd on Facebook, or Ignite Quantum Healing gmail.com. And then also you can also reach out to me through Messenger on Facebook too, through the Facebook. Also, I teach a lot of Reiki classes in animal healing, and I also do Akashic record reads. Whether Rachelle and I both serve. Well, I forget. We're in different places now.
Yeah.
I live in the Kalamazoo area, and Rachelle serves in what area?
I'm in the South Carolina, Myrtle Beach area, South Carolina.
We
Yeah.
used to live in the same place, but we also do everything on Zoom that we do in person, or on the phone. So so you can always find us. And anyways, we just feel so blessed to have spent this hour with you guys. And if you need want a healing or want a class, reach out to either one of us. We always feel like God always brings you to the person that you need at the time you need it the most. So we feel so blessed to be able to talk to you today. And I guess namaste.
Yeah. Thank you, Bonnie. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.